been reported that last week Secretary Blinken waived sanctions against Iran's radio and television establishment, the IRIB. Can you confirm this, and if so, on what basis?
So, Geeta, this waiver has been renewed by successive American administrations without any interruption since 2014. The waiver has been issued close to 20 times, some 18 or so times in recent years. We periodically review this waiver to allow the provision of satellite broadcast service to the IRIB under the auspices of the International Telecommunications Satellite Organization, or ITSO. We are and remain seriously concerned by the IRIB's role in censoring the Iranian people's access to information and its involvement in human rights abuses. While this narrow waiver allows for the provision of satellite broadcast services to IRIB, IRIB and its senior leadership remain subject to U.S. sanctions under various authorities, including for their involvement in censorship and human rights abuses. As you may recall, we sanctioned senior IRIB officials as recently as November when we designated its director, Payman Jebeli, and other senior IRIB leaders involved in censorship on behalf of the Iranian government. We continue to use every single tool that's available to us to hold Iranian authorities accountable for their human rights abuses and for their censorship.
Well, just because the past administrations have waived it, doesn't necessarily mean that this administration would have to, especially now, where you've seen it airs forced confessions, disseminates misinformation, disinformation, doesn't reflect the reality of the protests on the streets, airs the officials' anti-Semitic comments. So aren't these enough grounds not to waive the sanctions? I mean, not to waive it?
These are underlying conditions that we look at every time this waiver comes up for renewal. We ultimately are going to do what is in our interest, but ultimately what we deem to be most effective to promote the aspirations of the Iranian people. And our judgment has been by targeting precisely senior officials consistently, including in recent months, including as recently as last year, holding senior officials in the IRIB hierarchy responsible for what they have done. We are able to, on the one hand, hold them to account, and on the other, to pursue our interests and to help promote the aspirations of the Iranian people.
Okay, those sanctions aside, how does it serve the U.S. interest?
Geeta, these are complex issues involving our membership in the ITSA, involving a number of factors, but we look at this very carefully through every single lens, and we have made the judgment call, as have previous administrations multiple times over, every 180 days, that waiving these sanctions are in our interests. We also believe it's in the interest of our ability to protect, to promote the aspirations of the Iranian people. Yeah, Shannon.